Well, I like the V&A because of the breadth of the V&A's collection. I've always liked to take inspiration from craft, from design, and the V&A does provide a lot of that. It's a very broad and very extensive collection. I've chosen the Mantua dress because I'm fascinated by aristocratic fashion and dress. And I've worked with that often in my own films and artworks in the past. It's a beautiful dress that would have been worn by ladies at court. And the dress obviously belonged to a fairly wealthy lady. It's brocaded in this stylized pattern of flowers. And I'm just intrigued by how wide the two hoops are. I also understand that the dress actually arrived at the V&A in 15 pieces and was restored and stitched back together again. This is a cravat belonging to Walpole. It was in his collection. I'm fascinated by the cravat because of the detail in it. I saw this when I was kind of wandering through the museum. And then I found out that the carving was actually a way of trying to imitate Venetian needlepoint lace. So I like the idea of wood trying to mimic something very soft with wood. It's actually a way of the carver to show off their skill to their wealthy clients. Walpole was rather eccentric. He was known to have actually worn this before to entertain some of his guests, and also did pretend that this was part of British culture to wear this wooden cravat when he had some visitors once. Well, I was doing some research earlier in my career about the Victorian period, and I was mainly looking at the British Empire in the 19th century, and so that research brought me to the V&A, and so that was my first time of actually seeing a lot of the collection. I'm fascinated by Tipu's tiger, and that was found in the palace of the Sultan, found by the British when the palace was invaded. I'm just intrigued by this piece, just because of its age, and also there is something there's a sort of macabre humor to it. This is colonial India, the south of India, and I think there's some kind of mockery being made of the of the British by having this tiger more of this kind of European man. I picked this kimono because it's a 19th century kimono, and yet it looks so modern. The kimono would have been worn by a very wealthy lady, and red was quite popular then. And it's got this bamboo and pine design on it, and this sort of very bold colors, a long time before modern Western abstraction. I think it's just lovely. It's not overdone. It's not, I wouldn't necessarily say it's ostentatious. It's just two colors. So I like the minimalism of the color as well. So it just feels very contemporary to me. Some describe me as a conceptual artist, some, but I work across mediums. I use, photography, costume, video, painting, screen prints. But my work is centered primarily around issues of my own identity and my history. and my heritage between Britain and Nigeria. Well, I mean, I like this gallery, but some of the tapestries almost remind me of, Bruegel or Bosch or something. I'm intrigued by the scale as well, because even though they're tapestries, but they're sort of very painterly as well. This tapestry is woven in Flanders, northern France, and it's known as 1,000 flowers. So it's got these animals also amongst the flowers. There are partridges, and there's a cock, and there's a unicorn as well. I understand this tapestry is actually part of a larger one, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I think the unicorn is meant to signify chastity. Just the pattern and the black in the background, it's almost like this kind of fantastical field of flowers. I think the first time I came here as a student, really, just sort of looking around, trying to find inspiration, doing a bit of drawing. The V&A is livelier now than it used to be, and it feels more accessible. It feels, more hip.